Welcome to session 234 of the MLM Success Podcast. If this is your first time here, there's a really good chance someone invited you to listen in on this session. And the last thing you want to do, or I want you to do, is waste your time. So the first thing you should really ask yourself is, who is this guy and why should I be listening to him? My name's Dale Calvert. I've been involved in the network marketing profession for 40 years at some level, maybe as a consultant, trainer, company owner. I would describe my first 3 years as a very frustrated distributor, a very aggravated distributor. But after 5 years, I would describe myself as a full-time networker after I was able to leave my job at IBM in Lexington, Kentucky. I eventually changed companies, and it took me 9 years to work my way up to $92,000 a year. 9 years in this profession, but please don't click away yet. I ended up making a change, going to another company, my third company. I was with 3 companies in 30 years. And my 10th year, my income jumped to $252,000. In my 11th year, $1.1 million. And the reason that happened, because most people get to 6 figures a year in network marketing, the facts tell us they're out of the profession within 5 years after they hit that 6-figure mark. And the reason is they really don't know how they got there. They just worked hard and grinded it out, and they found a couple of people that were willing to work hard and grind it out. And I saw that early in my career. And the thing that really helped me, and the thing that I've taught and believed in for years, is systems duplicate. Personality doesn't. So when I got to $92,000 a year, I had several people right behind me that were at $30,000, $40,000 a year. Then when I jumped to $252,000, I had people that were in the $70,000, $80,000 a year range. And then I had several that went over the 6-figure mark that pushed me to $1.1 million, and over the next 5 years, I made over $10 million in the network marketing profession, helped over 200 people develop 5, 6, and 7 figures incomes on my personal team. And the majority of those people had never been involved in network marketing before, or the few that had been, very few of them had ever made any money, any profits with their business. I believe that I understand what it takes for average people with above average desire to make money in network marketing at a level that it literally haunts me. And I believe I can help everyone. I can help anyone. And I sincerely believe I can help you. So I'll just ask you before we get into this, who have you been learning from? If someone has shared this podcast with you, I ask that you take a breath, neutralize your emotions, listen to this session not with an emotional mindset, with a blank, logical mindset, as if you have no opinion on the subject. The truth is, no matter what you've been taught, if 1,000 people say a stupid thing, it's still a stupid thing. Just consider, what if everything you've been taught about direct outreach cold messaging is wrong? What if it's wrong? Just for the fun of it, act as though the most business-minded person you respect in the world are sharing the facts that I'm going to share with you in this session. Because of my 40 years experience in this profession, I know that many of you are listening at a very pivotal crossroads in your network marketing journey, and you don't even realize it. But I get it. I was there once. Every great leader in network marketing I know has been there, and most wish they had realized the facts we will be sharing with you in this session a lot earlier in their career. I'm talking about you personally being at a pivotal crossroads right now that could cost you hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of dollars. At the very least, it's going to stop you from reaching your full upside potential, making 10 times less than is possible for you, for devoting the exact same amount of time you're spending right now in your business. I'm talking about the ability, and hear this, to develop an unstoppable confidence within 90 days. Based upon knowing and understanding the facts and history around the network marketing profession, a confidence that you cannot and will not ever develop otherwise. believe it or not, I know how to help you do that within 90 days or less. And even if you don't want to hear it, the fact is you've been lied to. Maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally, and it really doesn't matter. It's really quite possible that you've been taught by a sincere person who was also lied to. I want to make it really clear. I'm not calling everybody that teaches against direct outreach prospecting and other business ideas that make sense in the real world liars. I'm not doing that. Of course not. The network marketing is run with philosophies and ideas for self-preservation of leaders instead of monthly progression of team members. That's the world in which we live today. And I'm going to say that again. The network marketing business is overrun with philosophies and ideas designed for self-preservation of leaders instead of the monthly progression of team members. I don't know your personal situation, and it really doesn't matter, but as Jim Rohn said, never mistake sincerity with truth, because some people are sincerely wrong. One of my favorite quotes I've heard in the last 5 years is from Miss Tate, and she said, "Don't resell the lies you bought. Obliterate them so no one else gets a hold of them, and unlearn them and re-educate yourself and teach that which is true." That's really the purpose of this session, is to obliviate the lie you bought, that doing outreach to network marketers doesn't work, it's unprofessional, it's spammy, or copy and paste spammy messages, whatever the guru selling the attraction marketing course wants to call it. And re-educate yourself. Why? That if you have an opportunity that truly has the upside potential in front of it, not behind it, but in front of it, that's the type of opportunity you have. Direct outreach to network marketers is the best way to recruit today. It's so superior to any other method. The truth is, it's working so well right now, it's not even debatable. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's podcast.
Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM Prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small-town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
Before we get into this session, I just want to make it perfectly clear, if there's anything that myself or one of our commenters say that doesn't make perfect, logical business sense, please let me know, and I will be happy to discuss it. MLMsuccesspodcast@gmail.com, and I will respond. I have absolutely no interest in responding to emotional people who are attempting to deflect the facts because they're in a state of self-preservation or discovering, oh my gosh, I drank the MLM guru's Kool-Aid. Okay, I'm not into arguing facts. Facts are facts. You can accept them or not accept them. That's up to you. That's your choice. And, some of you may be thinking, well, what do you mean, Dale? The MLM training guru's Kool-Aid. And, for me, that kind of should be obvious. I don't, if you don't really understand, at some point, it will be beyond obvious to you that network marketing teachers, trainers, gurus tend to tell you what you want to hear so they can sell you what they want to sell you. The common message, and you'll hear this theme over and over, is I'm going to show you how to stay in your comfort zone and get wealthy building a network marketing team. I don't care what kind of program, product, what they're pitching. That's the common theme. Stay in your comfort zone, get wealthy. as far as self-preservation, there are many leaders in many MLM companies that don't want their team members to contact other network marketers, not because it doesn't work, but because it won't work for their opportunity. They know the growth and momentum stage of their company has peaked, that part is over, or maybe they're in a startup company and they know that it's beyond risky. And they know that if you contact an experienced network marketer who understands that network marketing wealth only comes from building teams, and that you have to be with the right company at the right time in history, if you attempt to recruit them with your risky startup or an established company who has peaked, you're going to be confronted with facts. And if you're a smart, business-minded person, you're probably going to make the pivot as soon as you possibly can. So the reason they tell you not to contact other network marketers is they know that business-minded people, when confronted with facts, don't ignore them. So in the spirit of self-preservation, they attempt to steer their teams against communications with other network marketers. And when you really stop and think about it, if they really cared about you and your financial future, and if they had the guts to pivot themselves, they could pivot, bring you with them to a company that has their growth and momentum in front of them, not behind them. Obviously, it's much easier to just get you to share the products every day, post on social media as much as you can, continue to share the products. And in so doing, you're building their check, because they're telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear.
Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Cantu. I'm from Glendale, Arizona. I have a funny story. Last year, mid-pandemic, after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Multiple Streams of Income, 2 highly recommended books, I went searching for a network marketing company. And the very first company I came across was one that my friend was constantly sharing on her social media. It was a company called Lavelle. So I figured I'll try the products. I tried the products. I loved it. So I immediately joined the company. I was with that company for just under a year. And the only training I ever received was how to post on social media, that I should be posting on Facebook, on TikTok, and on Instagram 3 to 5 times a day, and that I should pay some money to have a photo shoot done to attract people. And this always bothered me because I knew deep down, at first I thought this was great, but deep down it irked me. I could not imagine signing up my mother or my grandmother and telling them to take a photo shoot. I knew this was not a duplicatable system. So I started searching for other network marketing gurus, and it was just everywhere. I signed up for different trainings. I'll say this, at the very least, I did a lot of personal development. During that process, the entire time I was listening to the MLM Success podcast by Dale Calvert. From day one, I loved this man. I loved the trainings that Dale was giving. But for some reason, I was still stuck in the previous culture. However, after some thinking, and after Dale joined the APL Go opportunity, I looked into it. I asked Dale some questions, and I joined them on their Zoom, and I was amazed. I saw a culture that I didn't see anywhere else. Previously, I was surrounded by boss babes. Here, I'm surrounded by there's everyone. That we have literally every country person, every religion, every color, because this is what network marketing is. It gives the average person that with above average desire the opportunity to create legacy wealth. And we have that here. We have it here because anyone can do it. And I love it. So just in my second month in the APL Go opportunity, following the systems and the proven track record that Dale set before us, I've exceeded all the money that I've ever made in Lavelle. I've exceeded it, not just made it back. I exceeded all of that. Plus, I recruited more people than I ever recruited in my life. And I feel phenomenal. I've grown so much. I'm more confident. I just know exactly what to do. And it's not post and pray. No more posting and praying. Now I am seeking people, letting them know that this is the way.
I want to make it perfectly clear, as I've shared many times, network marketing started its documented downhill trend in North America in 1995, shortly after Success Magazine came out with the We Create Millionaires cover story. And we discussed that in great detail in session 221 of this podcast. So I'm not going to rehash all that. But, in 1991, John Kalich came out with a book called The Greatest Opportunity in the History of the World. And in 1991, without question, network marketing was the greatest opportunity in the history of the world. If you were involved in network marketing in 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, during those years, you know exactly what I was talking about. It was fun. People were progressing. They were making money. It was a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. People were having fun. They were creating awesome friendships with people that they could depend on and get in the foxhole with. And it was a phenomenal time, right up until around 95. And, network marketing was admired from afar by every business, every direct sales type profession, whether we're talking about realtors, insurance agent, small business owners. Network marketing had it going on. And if you were involved then, it was phenomenal. And, again, you know what I'm talking about if you experienced it in 95. But then what happened? Why did it change so much? And people want to blame the internet, but I would tell you the change started prior to the internet being mainstream. When a movement, which network marketing was a movement in the 90s, gets away from its core fundamentals, there's always unintended consequences. Today, network marketing is the most understood business model on the planet, not by those outside the industry, but by those inside the profession. I'm talking to people every single day that never even considered where their company that they're involved with was on their growth cycle when they joined. And I'll go as far to say that network marketing is despised by the masses for many of the reasons that we brought upon ourselves. It's like attempting to chat up strangers on social media so we can share our products with them that we're going to be talking about here in just a few minutes. After Success Magazine, the Success Magazine cover story, there was a mind shift, and we changed from helping career frustrated people find a path to financial success and freedom. We started competing with each other. Your comp plan only pays 30% on the third level. Mine pays 40, and my Pignaginol is better than your Pignaginol, and so on and so forth. And we started competing with each other, not understanding the real prospect is the frustrated person on the hamster wheel stuck in an office in a cubicle in corporate America or on the assembly line floor. That was the case in 1995. And there's not anybody in the country that spoke out more about this than I have over the years. So if you've heard my training program, Network Marketing is a Scam, which first came out in 1999, it's available free online now. It's MLMscam2.com. But a lot of you I know that listen every week have heard that, and you know that I have always, throughout my entire career, been very vocal when shortcut ideas have started to propagate throughout this industry. I've done everything I can to say, look, it's not valid. It will never duplicate. It's not going to work. And the point back then was our competition is not each other. It's the dead end job. And it still is to some extent, but that's not our main competition today. The dead end job, obviously, we will always have an answer for that. But network marketing has always been a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. And if you want to achieve your full upside potential, no funnel blogging platform, lead generation platform, a guru's ATM system is ever going to change that. And there's no system, there's no program that's ever going to change that if you don't know how to get eyeballs on it and if you don't have the confidence to use it. See, when I said earlier, we can help you develop an unstoppable confidence within 90 days, like at a level I have never experienced in 40 years. I'm in it. We're seeing it right now on our team. It's crazy. The breakthroughs. Because if you don't have confidence, it doesn't matter what your comp plan pays. None of it matters. It doesn't matter. 100% of zero is still zero. However, the market has really changed today. 25 years down the road, the real market is not frustrated people stuck in cubicles and on factory floors. The real market today, right now, is frustrated network marketing distributors who've been following their self-proclaimed guru leader from deal to deal to deal, who are working, okay, they're working and trying to make their business progress, but are frustrated, stuck on the MLM hamster wheel because they believe in their company, the quality of their products, but they still have major challenges creating monthly progress and building their teams. And please hear what I just said. The real market today is frustrated network marketing distributors, and this is real important, who are working. They're working, but they're being taught concepts, ideas that will not work for them, and if they do, will never duplicate, which again, we're going to get into. And they're trying to make the business model work, but they're frustrated and stuck on the MLM hamster wheel. The truth is, quality products based upon science is just one of the 4 stars that must line up to give people a chance to create momentum in their business and the legacy income that some of us have experienced and everyone listening to this podcast has heard about. People get confused and they get tricked and they get deceived because they fall in love with the product and they think the product is the answer to my success. No. A quality product based upon science is just one aspect of the 4 stars, as I call it, that ultimately create success. And those 4 stars rarely line up. If you're with a company whose growth has already peaked, it's behind them, quality products alone will never give you the opportunity to create legacy wealth. If you miss the trend, if you miss the momentum, if you're not involved with a team culture that is designed to help you reach financial independence and your full upside potential from solid, duplicating, team building systems, that really should be a clue. Is your culture and company more interested in you promoting products every single day, promote the products, or achieving your dreams? Be honest. Where's the focus? Focus on selling products every day to everyone you meet will never lead to a significant income, and it's really a recipe for frustration. You absolutely must learn a systematic way to recruit and build a team. And I'm going to say it one more time. The real market today is the frustrated network marketing distributors who are working, and I can't stress are working hard enough, and trying to make the business model work. But they're frustrated, stuck on a hamster wheel, being taught by those who are more interested in what will make them money now and next month than helping you fulfill your dreams in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to share a portion of an article I pulled from Lynn Clements called The Land of 10,000 Unrecruited Heavy Hitters. It's from a free publication you can download if you want over at topmlmtrainingarticles.com. But I'm just going to pull excerpts from this. He said, today, There's a constant ebb and flow of distributors from company to company, those who migrate like gypsies from program to program, always looking for a better deal. And this segment of the MLM population is huge. The result is that many companies increase in sales volume and distributor count each month, but it's usually to the detriment of another MLM program. And there are a number of examples of companies that experienced growth that came primarily from the fallout of another network marketing company. The People's Network grows, Quorum shrunk. Side note here, Quorum would have never been Quorum if all the people hadn't started it from NSA. NSA would have never been NSA if all the people from Herbalife and USA Vitamin hadn't jumped into NSA. I could go on and on and on. I'm not going to. Vitatonics, and back to the article, Vitatonics and New Vision grow, Maytal shrinks, USANA grows, Voxa shrinks. Natural World is growing much at the expense of Melaleuca. Likewise, with Life Plus growth, which came at the expense of Care International, Gold Unlimited goes away, and a dozen other gold and silver programs get a jump start. The examples are endless. And I say that because I want you to hear what I'm getting ready to say next. This article was written in 1995, 25 years ago. So to think that people don't jump from company to company and that, that most people make it with their first company is beyond naive. It's beyond naive. As I mentioned earlier, in 1999, I produced a training program called Network Marketing is a Scam, where I did my best to warn the profession that we have to stop over-promising and under-delivering. We have to return to our roots of inspiring people to greatness instead of appealing to their mediocrity. We have to continue to teach network marketing as a 3 to 5 year game plan to financial success and provide the right people with the right skill set and mindset development training, what I've always called wisdom of the ages principles that help people expand their comfort zone. And those concepts will always lead to success if you're with the right company at the right time in history. Always. 100% of the time lead to success. There are no shortcuts. But if you're the wrong company at the wrong time in history, you can have everything else going in your favor, but you're still going to be limited in what your upside potential is. Unfortunately, since I did this and, since 95, the downward trend has continued in network marketing. In my opinion, it's no longer really a business. It's much more like a social club. It just is. Fear and false pride are keeping most network marketers broke. As I talked about in detail in session 195 of this podcast, there's so many people been around the profession for a long time and they think they're entitled to something, and it's just fear and false pride that's keeping so many people that could become wealthy if they could bite the bullet and make the pivot and, go to work again. Could do phenomenal, but they're just hanging around in a state of really it's false pride. I mean, we've created a delusional social club culture where people are more interested in hanging out with their friends than they are building a profitable, growing, duplicating team and a real business that they can be proud of, as I discuss again in detail. And it was podcast session 230. The most delusional business model on the planet was the name of that session. The most delusional business model on the planet.
My name is Paulette McQuarrie. I'm from Vancouver Island, Canada. My professional background is in airline customer service, corporate writing, and independent broadcasting. Over the years, I've also been involved in several different network marketing organizations. In every one, I felt like I was set up to fail. Their so-called training approach was, it's not selling, it's sharing. So just get 2 people to sign up 2 people and they'll sign up 2 people and we'll all get rich. And do Facebook Lives, basically post and pray. So to me, it felt more like high school than real business, creating corporate cheerleaders instead of serious business leaders. Since joining North America Launch Team, though, I have found true duplicatable systems geared towards business-minded adults. I'm finally learning and mastering the skill sets and mindsets I need to learn to move my business forward daily.
Hi, my name's Alan Knight, and I'm from Irvine, California. I've spent over 25 years in network marketing, attempting to implement lead generation recruiting systems that were designed by top 3%ers. And I realize now that they only work for top 3%ers. The thing that attracted me to Dale Calvert and the North America Launch Team is everything being taught us is designed for what we call 27%ers, average people like me that are willing to do the work. The truth is that most network marketers treat their business like a hobby or definitely like a social club and not like a real business. However, by reaching out to other network marketers, I have found that there are plenty of them that are willing to do the work. All they're missing is the right team culture and the right systems that they can believe in to progress in their business every month.
I can remember back in the day, I would take my daughters to the mall, and they loved to go to several stores, one of them being Claire's, had all the hair bows and all these knickknacks for teenage girls, young girls. And I would always go to the bookstore while they did their thing, and then they would come and find me in the bookstore, and we'd go get ice cream or a pretzel, and then we would head home. Did this over and over and over many years, and it was like every time I'm in the bookstore, it felt like it did not fail. I'd either be in the business or personal development section, and somebody would come up to me, and they'd say, "How long have you been interested in personal development?" And I would say, well, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. And then they'd reach and find a book like The Magic of Thinking Big or Psycho Cyber, some classic, Think and Grow Rich. And they say, "Have you ever read this? This is a really good book, blah, blah, blah." And then they would get into, "What do you do for a living?" And I would never ask them, "What do you do for a living?" And then finally they would say, "What are you doing Tuesday night?" And I said, "I know you want me to be at the Quality Inn on New Circle Road at 7:00, because you're getting together with some business partners," which really meant it was an Amway meeting. It got so annoying that finally I got to a point when they came up and said, "How long have you been interested in personal development?" I would say, "How long have you been in Amway?" I mean, it was so annoying. And it drives me crazy. I cannot understand why people think just because now I'm doing it on the internet, therefore people will not see through what I'm doing. I don't understand. And it's really kind of been mind-boggling to me, the number of people that are supposed to know what they're doing, trying to teach people to prospect that way, and tempting to engage people that don't have an entrepreneurial or network marketing background in hopes that you can share your products or business with them is one of the most unreasonable mainstream concepts that's been propagated throughout the network marketing profession. We all have heard stories about, people meeting young people for the first time. They invite them over for dinner, and then after dinner, the whiteboard drawing circles was the dessert. That's kind of a joke that's been around the profession for years. And in my opinion, it's even worse today because people are they're creating conversations with dozens and dozens and dozens of people every single day with an ulterior motive. I mean, it's really gotten bad. I mean, I can't have authentic conversations, anymore because of what all the ridiculous concepts and ideas that have been implemented in this profession over the years and are worse today than any time in history. About probably 6 months ago, I just happened upon a friend of mine that popped up in Facebook, and I hadn't talked to him or heard from him in 20 years. Howard, I'd actually hired Howard. He was an agent when I was in the insurance business, and I hired him and trained him in the insurance business. And I just said, "Hey man, how you doing? Where are you living now?" Real quickly. It was one night. I just texted him real quick because I was, I wanted to get an update on his wife and his daughters. And his response back to me was, "Hey dude, how you doing? I'm not interested in any network marketing program." And again, because that's my background. He saw me on infomercials back in the day. The last time I saw him was probably about 20 years ago, and it was at a Home Depot, and he's talking about he'd seen the infomercial. And okay, so I haven't talked to him since then. I lost contact with him. Now I'm seeing him. I'm just wanting to catch up with the guy. I have no interest in talking to him about my business. Honestly, I don't need him, don't want him. I just want to know how he's doing. But because not of anything that I've done, but what I'm sure other people have done over the last 20 years, it's created this negative mindset towards the entire profession. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like network marketing in the real world, and they don't even know why they don't like it, even though it's just we're supposed to not like it. And it's because of the way we've approached people the wrong way for years and years and years. And I do not get it. I do not understand why we think it's okay to treat people like people tried to treat me in the bookstore just because it's online now. And again, it's amazing how many people that are supposed to know what they're doing teach this. Let's listen to this short clip right now from Ms. Holcomb.
So listen. The thing is that you want to connect with people, get to know people, love on people, be interested in people, and then turn around and invite. You don't want to be chasing after them, bugging them, sending them weird and awkward messages because it just doesn't work.
Nobody stops to ask ever, who is this person? Why should I be listening to them? I may be wrong, and I probably am, but the person you just heard in the clip has been around for as long as I have. I mean, the first time I ever met her through the phone, she was a sidekick with a great friend of mine, a guy that I really loved, Joe Schroeder. And it's crazy how over time, I mean, she was just kind of floundering Herbalife distributor. And I don't know that has ever built a team anywhere with anybody since then. And it's crazy how those that can't do end up teaching, and how someone can call themselves, the queen of network marketing if they have no documented track record, that I'm aware of actually recruiting and guiding team members to a full-time income. It's just kind of blows my mind. It's par for the course in this profession. I mean, it's common. Get on YouTube and act like something that you're not. I mean, y'all have seen the article maybe that I did, 4 or 5 years ago, where there was over 42,000 self-proclaimed network marketing consultants, trainers, attraction marketing specialists, and gurus on YouTube. 42,000, most which have dormant accounts now. But anyway, I love Joe Schroeder like a brother. And I became vaguely remember a couple of years ago, someone sending me an article that she had done, or Facebook post. I'm just trying to remember, but something about, and I'm paraphrasing, but tired of leading people down the wrong path. I don't really remember. I'm turning over a leaf, putting people on a path of personal development, quit selling junky affiliate products to distributors that have no business and trying to implement them, and so on and so forth. And I remember reading this or seeing this or something. And again, I go through so much information every single day, every single week. My memory gets foggy. But I do remember thinking to myself, I'll believe it when I see it. And so because of all that, she had popped into LinkedIn and maybe a birthday or whatever, but I saw her and I hadn't thought about her, in years. And I just decided to send her a quick contact. And sincerely, it was not for me. It was for her. I mean, at the time, I was the number one recruiter in the world the previous 2 months before I contacted her. So, I don't know that I've ever talked to her on the phone personally or ever met her personally. I may have, but I really don't recall. But I've always believed she had a strong work ethic. And more than anything, my belief was she has a heart for people. And she probably does. And my thoughts over the years was, when she was with Joe or whatever and they were working together, I always felt like she was value focused, had a heart for people. And in my mind, it's like, well, I don't know what happened, but she's definitely, promoting every affiliate product out there, and she's just kind of got misdirected, was my feelings. So anyway, the clip you just heard, the lady, I sent her a message, and I just pulled this from my LinkedIn. I was trying to remember, but I said, Diane, this is one, because this was bizarre to me, okay? It just popped in. I thought, I don't know what she's doing now, but I remember getting something 2 or 3 years ago where made me think she's turned over a new leaf or whatever. And again, I don't know. Okay. I'm talking, I'm just sharing with you what my feelings were, my thoughts. So I said, Diane, this is one of the profession has been waiting for 20 years. And I have the fastest growing team. We're having fun making money. Take a serious look. It's worth it. And let me know your thoughts. Talk soon, Dale. I've never sent that message to anybody else. It was just quick, texted out. I see her because I've talked to so many people in the last 6 months who've said that, this is what the profession's been looking for. It's like I've had so many conversations. People think, man, this is what the profession's been looking for since Herbalife. This is what the profession's looking for since NSA. I've had those talks, people telling me that. So I just texted out something quick. And if I recall, it was like, late one night. So here's the message I get back. I thought you crossed me off your list. And then it's Diane, not Diane. So evidently I hit the N twice or something. I don't know, or didn't hit it. I was supposed to hit it twice and didn't. And that's all she said. Well, I cross everybody off my list. I scratch everybody off my list. So I don't know if she's referring to a training that she's heard, or I have no idea what that's even supposed to mean. So I said, I probably did, but while we may not have always seen eye to eye, the one thing I've always felt is you had a real heart for people, which I did, still do. The 63% payout is not MLM hype. It is true. And I'm just trying to make solid, factual points because that's what I would want people to do to me, to share with me. The category creating product is not MLM hype. It is true. 8-year proven track record is exactly that. And it's just launched in the USA. It doesn't take the sharpest tool in the shed to understand what's going to happen in North America. And I don't know if she's been approached 17 times or I don't have any idea. I just said, have you taken a serious look? Do we need to talk, respect Dale? I'm just trying to have a normal conversation. No, Dale, we don't need to talk. I have edified you for decades and listened to every recording you've ever published. Just thought I'd get more than a copy and paste message in 2020. So that's the real issue, huh? I see you're doing well. I'm glad I hope it is as big as you expect. It will be nice to see you out there again. Blessings, Diane. And I should have just dropped it, honestly. Cool beans. See you later. But honestly, this was late at night, and, you get fuzzy at night. But I'd get more than I'm deserving. It's again, false pride. I would get more than a copy and paste message in 2020. And I wanted her to know that that's not what happened, because it's not what happened. And I said, it was not a copy and paste. It was personal. And then I get back, I don't know what you're doing, but I will ask for a personal message. And then I just finally said, look, because I'm confused at this point, and I don't want her to think I was just copying and pasting, because I do have respect. Anybody that's been around this profession 40 years, I have respect for. Have you ever been in front of something that is guaranteed to be huge? Have you ever experienced being in front of the wave? This company is 8 years old, operating in 30 countries with a true category-creating product. Many six-figure monthly earners throughout Europe. They launched in the U.S. 6 weeks ago. You don't need a crystal ball to know what's going to happen here. The profession has been waiting for this for 20 years, and I have leaders joining our team daily. If you are open at all, this comp plan is worth studying. Unlike anything I've seen, a true 63% payout, and the owner who started in the field at age 17 and wants to create more millionaires than any company in history. All that's 1,000% true, ladies and gentlemen. Now going back to my text here. I know this all sounds like MLM blah, 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 but what if it's true? At some point, you're going to want to get the facts. When that happens, I hope you'll give me a call. I gave her my phone number. Much respect, Dale. So we're done. Okay, I've said what I need to say. Here's a personal message for you. Here's my phone number. Fine. We're done. And then I get this real snarky remark. She says, and yet he pitches again. Sigh. And I guess she wanted me to ask her about her life and her 2 daughters. And honestly, I don't have a clue. And I just said, look, there's no pitching when you're sharing documented facts. Just tell me you have no interest and curiosity, and I'll put you in an ego file, and you won't hear from me for a while. If you want to send me your personal mailing address, I can send some product samples, get some product samples in your hands. Dale, I'm not trying to beat around the bush here. And then the next thing I get, all it says is fascinating. And I'm like, is she? So anyway, it's like, what the heck is that? And to myself, what the heck is that supposed to mean? I'm having dozens of conversations daily with experienced marketers, and all I'm trying to do is eliminate the social club members and the tire kickers. And I definitely don't have time to try to psychoanalyze this ego. It's not common, whatever's going on. But an ego that can't have a normal business conversation and give somebody a straight answer, I'm either curious or I'm not. I've seen it or I haven't. It's like, what's going on here? So my final reply was, have a good one. And hopefully in the future, I will know better than to try to have a normal business conversation with someone who's, my guess is just false pride prevents it. I mean, I sincerely don't know. And then when I was trying to pull this message for this podcast, just to kind of rehash what happened for myself as an example that maybe you guys could benefit from, I'm looking at her description on her LinkedIn, and she describes herself as an internet marketer, not network marketer, internet marketer that dominates product launches all over the industry. An internet marketer that dominates product launches all over the industry. So in my mind, the translation is she has a group of followers that know her, like her, and trust her. Evidently, they trust her. Social club members in network marketing that like watching her videos instead of some of the cat videos on YouTube or whatever. I mean, when you really look behind the curtain, her bio is basically telling you, when a new internet marketing cool tool hits the market, my goal is to sell it to you. I mean, really, what's the bottom line here? So, Diane is unfortunately another in a long line that teach people to do things that most people don't have any business doing. You can't teach algebra to someone who has not learned basic addition. And I get it. Some personalities just love to hear themselves talk and find chatting up people in social media environments very comfortable for them. However, it is, many people have heard me say, many, many times, we're in the leadership development business, and some people just have never had that leadership development paradigm shift. They've never understood that if what they're doing cannot be done by the masses, duplication stops. Maybe more important than asking yourself, who is this person and why am I listening to them, is where are they taking me? Where are they guiding me? I talk to people every week. They've been following their leader, quote unquote, around. They've been in 7 different companies in the last 9 years, and they've never progressed or made any more money in any one than they did the other. And they've just been stagnant on the hamster wheel, the MLM hamster wheel, for 9 years because they never ask, where are they taking me? Where am I going? Where do I want to go? Ladies and gentlemen, it is really a question of asking yourself, what's the best target market today in today's environment for those that are serious about building a network marketing team and a career level income? In 1995, before all the self-proclaimed network marketing gurus started flooding the market through the internet, without question, the best target market for network marketers was career frustrated people trapped in cubicles in corporate America and standing on factory floors, as Lem Clements and many of us tried to communicate back then. But in 1995, it's not 1995 anymore. There are multiple proven ways to generate leads for your business that allow you to be real and authentic without question. It's not debatable. The best method is direct outreach to your target market, and all business-minded people understand this. So if your upline or some guru is calling, direct outreach unethical, spammy, or whatever else they want to call it, shouldn't that raise red flags to you?
My name is Dave Buchanan from St. Petersburg, Florida. My background is financial services and the manufacturing industry. In the real world, managers are being hired away from other companies every day. But for some reason, somehow in the network marketing industry, we've been convinced that offering a person a better opportunity at the right time in history is unethical. I don't get that. I don't understand that. When you stop and think about it, does that make any sense in the real world? I can tell you that myself and members of the North America launch team are finding frustrated network marketers who are joining us weekly. When they join, they're experiencing a level of support they had no idea existed.
I was recently in Kentucky a couple weeks ago, and I ran into a friend of mine who's been in the restaurant business, his entire career. We went to high school together. He's worked for multiple restaurant chains, and, he was back in Kentucky, opening a new restaurant, and I hadn't seen him in years. And we were talking about back in the day when we bust tables together as teenagers and how he got a promotion to fry cook. And he said, Dale, if I hadn't got that promotion to fry cook, I'd probably never would have, that was a crossroads. I probably never would have, pursued restaurant management as a career. but he got that promotion to fry cook. And now he's one of the most sought after restaurant managers in the United States. And I actually ran into him at one of his competitors' restaurants, and I said, Charles, what are you doing here, man? He said, I'm looking for new hires. He said, with restaurants popping up all around, it's getting harder and harder to find good people. And he said, one of the secrets I've used, he said, my entire career over the years is I've always went to the competition and observed the staff. And he said, when I find someone who's committed to their work, they treat customers respectfully, I never leave that restaurant without giving them my card and offering them a job. He said, see that young man over there? And he was pointing to this guy. He said, next time you're in Georgetown, come by. He said, he'll be working with me. I said, what? He said, yeah, he'll be with me. He said, we got better wages, more flexible hours, and a much better opportunity for quicker advancement. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how the real world works. That's how the real world works. People hire out of companies into other companies. But somehow when we reach out to network marketers and companies whose momentum peaked, they peaked 3 or 4 years ago or 10 or 12 years ago, and we give them the opportunity for quicker advancement in front of the momentum, it's supposed to offend them for some reason. Is it me, or do we live in a world where we're just searching for a way daily to be offended? I mean, I sincerely do not understand. People in corporate America are contacted daily by headhunters whose only job is to recruit talent from one company and offer them a better opportunity in another company. Somehow network marketers have been convinced that this solid business method in the real world is spammy or wrong, not supposed to do it that way. And I mean, I really hope you're starting to understand that possibly this philosophy that you have been taught is a lie. It's not true. The truth is, I could share with you the career paths of dozens of established, credible leaders whose names you would all recognize, who have been involved in multiple network marketing companies until they found the right company, and this is really important, trending at the right time. The right company trending at the right time. Last week we had someone who had been with Norix a couple of years, and they just went off on one of our people for reaching out to them. And they called her every name they could think of. And one of the more civil comments was, no, I haven't sponsored anyone yet, but how dare you attempt to recruit me away from my friends? How revealing is that? Does that sound like a business or a social club? How dare you attempt to recruit me away from my friends? And they said, well, what am I supposed to do? I said, you don't want them. I said, well, I wanted to say something back. I said, just ask them, do they know how Tim Sales ended up at Worix? And they did. And her response was, who's Tim Sales? So you've been with the company 2 years and you don't know who Tim Sales is. For those of you that aren't with that company and have an excuse to not know who Tim Sales is, I think he started with Nu Skin. I'm not sure, but he was with USANA, had a very successful business in USANA prior to moving to Worix when they started and becoming one of the top money earners over there. And he's a really good example of how successful network marketers pivot if and when the stars line up. And I think about George Zalicki. I first heard George when I first entered Shaklee. This was like 1980. He'd been around for a few years. He was a coordinator. If memory serves me correct, he was like a college professor, maybe in psychology in Michigan. And, I had a couple of his audio tapes when I was in Shaklee. And then, he was doing well. He never reached the top position in Shaklee, but he made a pivot and it wasn't real public and I wasn't part of his downline or anything. So I really didn't know when it happened. Again, I'm just a regular old Joe, back then in those days. But Then years later, when I end up in NSA, it's like, there's George Zalicki, and he's at the top position in NSA, which was a national marketing director. And I think he'd been there 3 or 4 years once I got there. And then once I became a national marketing director, I got to know him a little bit. But we were never close friends, not, related. And that was a huge company, obviously. But there he was. So he left Shaklee. He was not at the top position. He went to NSA, where he built it to the top position. And then, then he ends up leaving NSA. And it wasn't, I don't know what he did in NSA after he left NSA. I don't know if he went to Quorum or Gold Unlimited, which a lot of people left NSA and went to one of those two companies. I really don't know. But I do know a few years later, he shows up at ACN and builds a huge organization in ACN. And then back in 2014, he sold his distributorship for $20 million, his ACN distributorship for $20 million. So that was his career path. College professor, Shaklee, and there may have been something between Shaklee and NSA that I'm not aware of, but I know he went to NSA and moved up. And then he went to ACN and built one of the top 5 or 6 businesses in that company, and ended up in 2014, sold it for $20 million. My question is, what if he had stayed in Shaklee? The wrong company, wrong time in history that had already peaked. What if he had stayed there? Would that story be as powerful? Of course not. He would probably be out of the profession at this point. And I'm sure he fell in love with Shaklee because, to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure that was his first company. I mean, do most people really take the time and look at the trends, the company history, the upside potential when choosing a network marketing company? I mean, my friend Curry Russell and I were talking about this last week, and he said, Dale, oh, here's all they do. This is why smart people end up in companies that don't make sense. He said, people just buy and promote products that they discover are available. And they don't understand that wealth is created in this profession from building teams. So, when people end up in a company because they discover a product is available and they start promoting it, that always leads to frustrated distributors who really don't have a clue what they're doing. And again, we're talking to them every single day.
Hi, my name is Kamisha Pitts, and I've been involved in network marketing for 4 years. Dale is the first and the only trainer that I've heard and I've seen who treats network marketing as a business. Since joining the North America launch team, I have grown so much as a leader, and it's so hard for me to fully explain it. You just have to experience it, and you just have to be there. I am so amazed of the amount of people who were taught that reaching out to other network marketers is a bad way to build your business. I see and I deal with this every day on a daily basis. I also see a lot of network marketers with stagnant businesses that are just not growing. They're just sitting there. What I have to say for that is, if only they would recruit like a traditional business, there would be no need for them to buy every book, every training program from gurus who are constantly pitching their programs.
It is common for experienced marketers to change companies until they find the right company trending upward and a team with proven systems that can help them progress forward. Is that common? Of course it's common. A survey done at the beginning of this year with 10,000 active network marketers, which is a real good sample size, surveyed over 10,000 network marketers, and 38.5% of the people they responded had only been with one company, 38.5. But 71% of those people had been with the company they were with. They were newbies. They'd been with the company they were with 2 years or less. So again, they ended up in a company that they found, what did Curry say, had products that they could promote. They just kind of landed there. It probably wasn't a very well thought out business decision. But from the rest of the people that were surveyed, 61.5% of network marketers had been with more than one company. And the actual breakdown was 23.2 had been with 2 companies. 15.9 had been with 3 companies. 7% had been with 4 companies. So, and then 15.5% had been with 5 or more companies. So what that tells me is sometimes it takes a little bit of experience and knowledge, before people figure this out. Most people, sometimes it might take 3 or 4 companies before they find a home. And that is if they're career minded. As I said earlier, I've been with my first 30 years, I was with 3 companies. And, the 15.9% that have been with 5 or more companies are what we used to call network marketing junkies. But today, unfortunately, it's kind of common that people just jump from deal to deal to deal to deal. And they never achieve more than they did in their first or second or third company because what they do doesn't change. If you continue to do what you've always done, guess what? You get what you've always got. You get what you've always got. So those of you who have bought into the false information propagated by self-preserving weak people with leadership titles in network marketing, such as poaching. We should not be allowed to poach. That is unethical, blah, blah, blah. If you think successful network marketers don't move from company to company just like they do in corporate America, the facts say different. Throughout my career, I've just always been fascinated by many philosophies that make no sense in the real world. And at different times, these become mainstream in network marketing. It's what everybody's talking about. I mean, some of you remember back in the day when people were taught to buy 100 audio cassettes called Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and then buy a mailing list and then mail these cassettes to everybody on the mailing list if you want to build a network marketing business. And the only people that made money with this strategy, you can guess who, can't you? The people selling the tapes and the mailing list. And the few leaders at the top of what John Milton Fogg called the tape mailing pyramid. And yes, I was extremely vocal about this at the time. Actually, we had a cassette tape called Why Mailing Cassettes Will Never Build a Network Marketing Team. That was a real mind tweak for people. But we were very vocal. Remember, you don't need, some of you remember that when everybody was saying, you don't need to master lead generation. You can just buy leads, with hot prospects with their credit cards in their hands, just waiting to join you and your team. They just can't wait. All you have to do is buy these leads and call them and they'll join you. I mean, it's been crazy, absolutely crazy. Who do you think made money? The people promoting the lead affiliate program and the owners. At one time the masses bought into the philosophy that the only people that can, that will ever profit from these type of programs. I mean, the masses have never realized that it's the affiliates. It's the affiliates. It's the people that are at the top of the leaderboard on every new affiliate program that's launched into this profession that are trying to make money selling the picks and shovels instead of learning how to mine the gold successfully. I mean, anybody remember the Empower Network? The masses who had no foundational skills bought into that program, and the only people that profited were the affiliates promoting the flawed program. And I could go on and on for hours about MLSP, all the different blogging platforms, and the list goes on and on and on of flawed philosophies the masses who have never been taught foundational skill sets and mindsets have bought into. Again, we're getting into all this junk and we don't understand network marketing has always been a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. So people out there looking for the foo-foo dust, MLSP, blogging, Empower Network, whatever they can find that's going to, buying leads, whatever's going to be the answer why I don't have to expand my comfort zone, increase my mindset and become, better than I am when I join. I just want to be lazy, sit on the couch, rub my distributor kit and let $100 bills fly out of it. And guys, that's not the way this works. I mean, last week I had a friend of mine send me an audio clip, and all he said was, "I'm sure you're going to enjoy this," smiley face. That was all he said. And it was an audio clip. He said, "I'm sure you're going to enjoy this," smiley face. I'm not sure who this dude is, but here's the audio clip that they mailed to me.
And so, one, I do not suggest, we don't condone reaching out to other network marketers, because most other network marketers are, they've been taught to, build rapport, they got to know, like, and trust, or just a cold market bad. And so when you're sending messages in the way that we suggest, the only hate that you're going to get is from other network marketers, right? Sometimes they're cannibalistic. They like to eat their own, and they'll put you on blast to screenshot your thing. And so I would take a minute before you send a message and just see, hey, is this person, is this person a network marketer or not? If they are, I'm not going to send them that message. Now, sometimes it happens accidentally. You didn't realize it, and there you go. They'll probably put you on blast anyway, and then you just say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were already in a company. I wish you the very best." Right? Does that make sense so far?
No, absolutely not. It doesn't make sense. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Under no circumstances does not contacting your target market make sense in the real world. I mean, I think about this and I think, what are the odds that this person has some type of affiliate program, video marketing, attraction marketing, blogging platform, some kind of course that if you were to start direct messaging network marketers, your actual target market, you wouldn't have no need to buy the course or any course. I mean, it's called target marketing, and how network marketing quote unquote leaders have been convinced this is some kind of crime or no to directly contact people that are your target market makes absolutely zero sense in the real world. So absolutely not. It did not help at all. The truth is, when done properly, it is the most effective way to recruit, period. And if you disagree, I just got to believe it's only because you've been lied to or you drink the guru Kool-Aid. Now would probably be a good time, just to dig a little deeper into the concept of target markets from top business sources, not uplines in self-preservation mode. Okay, this is from Fast Business Startups. What is a target market? A target market refers to a group of potential customers to whom a company wants to sell its products and services. If we paraphrase that for the network marketing profession, it could be a target market refers to a group of people we want to promote our business opportunity to. Back to the direct quote. This group also includes specific customers to whom a company directs its marketing efforts. Identifying the correct target market is one of the most important factors in the success of companies. Identifying the target market is an essential step for any company in the development of a marketing plan. Not knowing who the target market is could cost a lot of money and time for a company. I mean, that's the end of that quote. But here's just a real simple common sense question. You have the opportunity to contact 5 people today. Would you rather contact 5 people that are frustrated in their corporate cubicle and have never been involved in network marketing? Or would you rather contact 5 people who feel like they've been on the network marketing hamster wheel? Real simple question. Yes or no? Who? Network marketers or not network marketers? People with experience or not people with experience? because the odds are 3 of the 5 people in corporate America that you contact are going to be upset because daily you got people trying to chat them up on social media so they can send them their opportunity of their products, information on their opportunity or products. So that's why they despise the profession, even though they don't know anything about it, is because the way they've been treated. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? This is from Inc. magazine. Given the current state of the economy, having a well-defined target market is more important than ever. No one can afford to target everyone. Small businesses can effectively compete with large companies by targeting a niche market. Okay, paraphrasing that for network marketing, we could say newbie distributors with the right target marketing messaging can compete with established network marketing leaders. What? Absolutely. Or you can continue to go on to social media and just act like everybody that you contact is a moron, not understanding what you're doing. Or you can direct contact people that are in your target market and compete with the big boys. Many businesses say they target anyone interested in my service. Some say they target small business owners, homeowners, or stay-at-home moms. All these targets are too general. Targeting a specific market does not mean that you are excluding people who do not fit the criteria. Rather, target marketing allows you to focus your marketing dollars and brand message on a specific market that is more likely to buy from you than other markets. This is much more affordable, efficient, and effective way to reach potential clients and generate business. That's from Inc. magazine. Success magazine said, the number one way to make sure your marketing works is to target your market. Before you outline the marketing actions you will take, it is critical to know your market. As a small business owner, you don't want your marketing efforts to be a tiny drop in a big ocean. Instead, you want to make a big splash in a smaller pool. This requires you to select a manageable number of top prospects that you can strategically focus on. According to WinNow Inc., they find prospects based on factors such as the prospect's company's revenue, location, number of employees, industry, its customers, and its major challenges. Just as a side note, what we do, we look at the track record of the company, when their sales and interest peaked, the total payout that they provide to the field, the uniqueness of their product line, and the overall monthly payout to the entire distributor organization. And our team members have been taught how to do this in 5 minutes with any network marketing company. So we know, hey, they peaked in 2013. They're on a downward trend. They've been on a downward trend for 3 years. They're not coming back. If I'm an ambitious, outgoing, career-minded network marketer, maybe getting in front of the right company at the right time in history is a good idea for me. Going on with the Success magazine. If you want your pool to be focused, it has to be large enough to meet your revenue goals. For instance, let's say you have a revenue goal of $500,000. If you close 50% of your prospects, your average project is $25,000, then you need 40 proposals a year. Exactly. And that's from Success magazine. And our whole focus is, after the initial launch, is 5 a month. I mean, I could sit here for hours and provide you with third-party business sources that talk about how you maximize your odds of success by targeting your market regardless of what you've been taught. What's that quote? That the truth will set you free, but first it might piss you off. I mean, I'm sure many of you will agree. The reality is all of the illogical business philosophies in network marketing have been propagated by people with leadership titles in companies that don't have proven systems for developing full-time earners on their team. They don't know how to develop the next wave of leadership. Our gurus that want to, they're wanting to convince newbies that we need to build out this $5,000 funnel system for you, or they're trying to sell them membership into a worthless affiliate program or some type of high dollar coaching program. That's what's going on. All business models are mastered sequentially. And this profession, network marketing, has been trying to teach algebra to people that have not learned how to do basic addition yet for the past 20 years. They're trying to teach algebra to people that don't know how to add 2 plus 2 and promising people that they will become advanced mathematician professors in 90 days. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. All the BS out there. Anyone on our team can tell you, after they've implemented the proven launch system that we teach, that can be implemented by anyone within 90 days or less, they have one go, adding 3 to 5 new team members / customers a month to their team. With our compensation plan and team training, anyone who sponsors 3 to 5 new members consistently a month can virtually guarantee their success because of the support in our team culture. It's my responsibility to give them enough lead generation activities, the right training, direction, and support to make sure they can make that happen within a relatively short period of time. And that's what we do. That's what we've always done.
Hi, I'm Winnie Arnold from Ohio, and I wanted to talk to you today about what I'm seeing in network marketing as it relates in comparison to corporate America. I've been in network marketing for several years now, as well as corporate America, and I see the corporate America tradition is so many people, if you see resumes coming across an HR desk where people, you don't see they have been with companies 20 and 30 years, more like 2 to 5 years. And the reason for that, a lot of people go and hop from one company to another because of the capabilities for growing both in their career and also with their finances because of making that jump from one company to another. Actually, I get a lot of headhunters or recruiters contacting me to join their companies. So it's very norm in that in corporate America. Now, with network marketing, it's interesting that I find myself seeing people in different companies wanting to stay loyal to their company because they're there with their friends or they've made close connections with people in their network marketing companies. And they're there maybe because they like the product. But interestingly enough, their teams aren't growing, they aren't growing, and they certainly aren't making the money that they thought they were going to be making with that decision on coming board with that company. Then the flip of that, people that have joined my team that have been in network marketing and are currently in network marketing that make that decision to be loyal to their family and what's best for their family and the wellness of their family, both financially and otherwise, they are wishing they had done it a long time ago. You see, they've come on board because the company that I am with now is a company that has a proven systematic training system and support and culture that helps them grow their teams a lot more rapidly and therefore able to provide for their families and see that growth financially a lot quicker than they have, or if at all, with other companies. So we are adding people to our team every month, and how we're doing it is because of the systems that are in place and that duplicatable systems. What's great is we're not only seeing success, but we're seeing our team members see success. And there are the smart ones, the smart network marketers are coming and leaving their other companies to come over to our company so that they can grow themselves and grow their teams, and doing so accordingly. So if you're listening to this, I hope that you take a look at what we've got going on here. It's very, very special. I haven't seen anything like this in the 30-something years that I've been in network marketing. And it's not just because of the timing and the product, the timing of the company and the product, but the culture and the systems in place that help you succeed. I hope you take a serious look.
Yeah, I had a guy that I've known for 25, 30 years contact me last week, and he was upset because somebody in my team had contacted somebody down under his organization, and they went and looked at the video that they sent him to, and I was on it. So he was all in, up in my, all over me. And he contacted me last week, and he said, Dale, how would you feel if someone was coming after you trying to poach and pillage your team? He didn't say it quite that whiny, but close. And I would say his name, but I don't need to, even though I know he's never heard this podcast. He already has all the answers. And I said, dude, how long have you known me? And he said, over 25 years. So how do you think I would feel if somebody was trying to poach and pillage my team? He said, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. And I said, look, my feelings about this have been the same. They haven't changed in years. I've said it 25 years ago. If somebody can take somebody from my team, then take all you can take. And I'll give you a list of 50 more that you can contact and call today. And that's the way I've always felt, and it's not going to ever change. It's not going to change. I mean, I wrote an article 11 years ago on this titled, it was titled, I Will Never Quit My Network Marketing Team. Maybe you should. And the point of the article was, if I'm not providing people the right direction, leadership, if they're not moving forward from a mindset, skill set, and growing their team standpoint every single month, and they're doing the work, and they're putting in the time, then that's on me. That's not on them. So I'm going to send you the article. That's how I feel about it, ladies and gentlemen. Right, wrong, indifferent. I'm not entitled to hang on to anybody. I mean, it's like me owning any other business you want to name. So what? I got a huge, you name it. If somebody leaves me, that's on me. If they think they can better themselves, go for it. Go for it. Because I am not going to be involved with a company that doesn't have the upside in front of it. I did that. I did that. My first two companies. But, I learned. I get it. Just like George Zalicki got it. And many others. So in 40 years, I've lost two people that I wish I hadn't. I wish they'd stayed with me. I found out after the fact, after all the emotions of it, they were both given special deals, and unfortunately today, both of them are out of the profession. And neither one of them were at the top position in the company when they left, but they were next to the top and they would have gotten there. But that's just part of the game. My belief has always been, look, if you can't make it with our team, with the level of sequential systematic training and support we offer, you aren't going to make it anywhere. And those are just my true feelings. I believe that. I tell that to anybody, anywhere, anytime. If you cannot make it with what we do, with our franchise, with our McDonald's, then Joe's Hamburgers ain't going to do it for you either. And that's just kind of the way I feel about it. And I've never not felt that way about it. I mean, those are my true feelings. And quite frankly, I think you and every real leader in this profession should feel the same way. I mean, and I think what's blowing my mind more and more today is we're just talking to so many people every single week. I think the scary part is many people do have that level of confidence and have absolutely zero track record or systems in place for developing full-time earners on their personal team. They got all the confidence in the world, but they couldn't guide someone out of a wet paper bag. And as I've said many times, it's like network marketing is no longer a business. It's just a giant social club with people with leadership titles whose only goal seems to be helping people, keeping them excited, keeping people ignorant, keeping their ego stroked, and on auto ship one more month. I mean, that seems to be the focus of, again, quote unquote leaders in this profession today. Keep people ignorant, excited, make sure their ego stroked, and keep them on auto ship one more month. And don't you think that business-minded people see right through this facade, all these shenanigans going on? I mean, I understand the emotions of people that people can have when someone contacts them about another company or opportunity. I mean, I get that, especially if you're new. I remember when I first started in Shaklee, it was during my first year, which was my first company, and someone called me on the phone pitching a company. Some of you old timers will remember it was called Enhance. Enhance was the name of the company. And he was telling me that Shaklee had raw sugar and arsenic and other terrible ingredients in their vitamins. And this guy scared me to death. I mean, honestly, I was a newbie. I didn't know any better, and I was just horrified. And I didn't know what to do, and I was upset, and I told my parents, and they said, well, you just need to call Shaklee, the company, and tell somebody. So that's what I did, and I talked to them, and I gave them the guy's information, and they assured me that their legal team would take care of it, and they actually acted like they knew who this person was. And I guess they did, because I never heard from him again. But, you know, this guy was sharing with me false hype and lies that were simply not true. And honestly, I was such a newbie, I didn't know any better. And then I think about it on the other hand, I was so inexperienced that I missed the launch of Herbalife a couple of years later. I mean, I could have been the second distributor in the state of Kentucky, and I let the opportunity pass me by. But at the time, I mean, I was in love with Shaklee, and I was in love with my team. And, you know, almost everybody falls in love with their first company. And quite frankly, that is never a good business decision. It's never a good idea. But as far as my team, you know, I wasn't experienced enough to figure out that if Herbalife was the best move for me, then it was going to be the best move for my team members. And, you know, I think about during my first 5 years, I also missed the launch of A.L. Williams in the state of Kentucky. I mean, I was heavily recruited and was there when the first A.L. Williams office opened in the state of Kentucky. But again, I didn't have the experience or the knowledge to really understand what I was looking at. And I think the difference was with these companies, certainly not Enhance, but with A.L. Williams and Herbalife, I mean, I had the documents right in front of me. You know, I could have really taken the time to get the facts and to think about it and study it a little bit, but I let my emotions overtake any logic or business sense that I had at the time. And believe it or not, that's really the reason for this podcast session. What's that quote about a wise person learns from their own mistakes, but a really wise person learns from the mistakes of others? I've been down this road. I get it. I understand the emotions connected with it. And until, you know, I can tell you, you know, if Warwick's was on a downtrend and someone came to Tim Sales right now and he wanted to continue to build, he may not join, but I promise you he would look at whatever's going on with an open mind, as probably George Zalicki would, even though he's in his 70s and sold his business for $20 million. If the stars line up, the stars line up. And if you're not a serious career-minded network marketing distributor who wants to really maximize their financial future for the time you devote to your business, then just enjoy your products, hang out in the social club, and really, honestly, all of my best to you. That's cool. But if you're a serious career-minded network marketer who's determined to make a positive financial impact right now and for future generations of your family, and you're not making $250,000 a year or less, or at least $250,000 a year, I mean, sincerely, I don't have the words to try to stress how strongly I hope you'll consider the concept of outreach, targeted marketing, and finding the right company at the right time in history. I mean, the truth is, it's not about you. Even if you are one of the 3% of the population who have a chance at developing a social media following, how many of the people on your team do you think will ever duplicate that? I mean, that is a very serious question and something you shouldn't just gloss over. I mean, even if you are one of the 3% of the population that have a chance at developing a social media following, how many of the people on your team will ever be able to duplicate that? This business is not about innovation, and it's not about what works for me or what works for you. It's about what can be duplicated by the 27%ers on your team. In network marketing, your real product is a well-trained distributor. And at any time, if you're teaching something that cannot be duplicated by the 27%, the masses of people on your team, duplication stops.
My name is Dr. Christina Bowman. I have been involved in a few different network marketing companies over the past 3.5 years. The training that I received and paid for throughout my time in network marketing revolved around personal branding and posting on social media daily, directly or indirectly about the products and or opportunity. It was exhausting and never truly made sense to me. Even if it did work, I never understood how it would duplicate. I was honestly burnt out from the industry and almost missed getting involved with Dale and the North America launch team. Thankfully, I didn't. Since joining the North America launch team, I've realized that the reason I wasn't having success in the industry was not because of me. What is considered mainstream is not duplicatable for most people. I now have the right mentorship, training, and team culture to move my business forward. And our team culture is unlike anything anyone in network marketing has ever experienced. We currently teach nearly 20 ways to create leads. Daily, I am having intelligent online conversations with other network marketers that are just as frustrated as I was with creating content, including videos, stories, posts, paying for training to help brand themselves, and other nonsense that seems to be so mainstream today.
I sincerely hope this session has spoken to you, even struck a nerve. Because I know if you've listened to this point, you're probably at a crossroads in your business. And the sad part is most of you may or may not understand that, or maybe you didn't understand that until now. And you've invested your time into listening to this podcast. And I hope you'll take some time and do whatever investigations or self-evaluations that you need to do right now. I mean, hearing it and not receiving value from it, you've spent the time, and I hope that something good comes from it for you. If you want to dig deeper into the entire concept of poaching distributors and how that term was created and is only used by weak people in network marketing with leadership titles, you can check out session 199 of this podcast titled Poaching Distributors Behind the Curtain, our Section 231 Poaching Distributors, a second discussion. You can check those out. I mean, I've tried to keep my emotions in check and share this session in a logical format, like I wish somebody had shared with me when I had the opportunity to get involved with Top Earners and Herbalife and A.L. Williams when those companies were on the ground floor. I mean, I've tried to really talk to the 25-year-old Dale. Is who I, in my mind, that was my avatar. That's who I was trying to talk to. And I know that these opportunities don't come along very often. And I would argue that the APO Go opportunity we're building is even better because the profession is so full of frustrated distributors who've been lied to. And they're not seeing their business grow month after month. And they're not seeing their team duplicating. And they're having trouble trying to create a following so they can recruit, which is ridiculous. And other than that, yes, the company is ground floor, but only in English, which ground floor means risky. But it's ground floor only in English-speaking countries. They've been operating successfully for over 9 years in 30 countries around the world. So that fact alone removes 99% of the challenges startups have and, negates the fact that 80% of MLM startups are gone within 3 years and, those remaining 90% are gone within 5 years. I'm just going to end this session with 4 simple questions. 4 simple questions. Who have you been listening to get guidance and direction to build your team? And what documented track record do they have for helping someone they personally recruit reach a full-time income, much less a duplicating team of people? I mean, have they ever created a duplicating team of people? Because I can assure you, those that can't do, teach. I don't know where that statement came from, but it truly is real. It's real. Those that can't do, teach. And certainly not in all cases, but in many cases. So who have you been listening to? And the next thing I would ask is, what company are you with? And the third thing I would ask you is, where would you be today if you could have started with that company during the very beginning? During the very beginning. And then the last question is what you should really think about. Keeping people like George Zalicki in mind. When experienced, business-minded, logically thinking people in stagnant companies are contacted through direct outreach, which again is the number one way to recruit today, don't you think that they take the time to investigate the facts? I mean, of course they do. So why shouldn't you? I'm shocked at people that have gone from company to company to company to company. They're in a good position. They're making, good income. And they got there by pivoting at the right time, getting in front of the right trending companies. And now they're at this good position and they tell everybody on their team, don't you dare do what I did. Don't understand it. I've heard it said that a wise person investigates what a fool takes for granted. And regardless of your past patterns, when you've been standing at one of the crossroads in life in the past, I would suggest that now is the time to be wise. I mean, if you have any questions, concerns, please get back with me or the person that shared this podcast with you. And be wise, my friend. Be wise. As Miss Tate says, don't resell the lies you bought. Obliviate them so no one else gets a hold of them and unlearn them and re-educate yourself and teach that which is true. This is Dale Calvert. Thanks for listening. I'll talk with you next week on another session of the MLM Success Podcast.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.